Hey y'all, real quick, I just wanted to come on and encourage you. Listen, I want to tell you something that happened to me yesterday, y'all. So I was on a flight, on a Southwest flight, by the way. I'm making a point about this, okay? So a Southwest flight yesterday, okay? And I was on this flight, and you can sit wherever you want with Southwest, right? So initially I was going to sit in one seat, but then I ended up sitting in another seat, okay? Stick with me now. So I'm sitting next to this this elder, he's not elderly, but he was like, maybe in his 50s, early 60s. And his wife and his kids were in the next row over. And so casual conversation, mind you, we're just talking, as you would with someone you don't know that you're sitting next to on a Southwest flight. You make casual conversation, okay? Anyway, so I'm talking to him, right? And we talk about, property and stuff like that. And I'm telling him, how I ended up in Dallas and things of that nature. And, I'm originally from California. He's like, oh, we live in California. He just casually mentions they live in California and casually mentions that he's an orthodontist and had been one for 17 years. And he was ready to retire. And then he casually mentioned, oh, yeah, my wife's a physical therapist, but, she doesn't work anymore. Casually. Okay. Then as we're talking and talk about property and things of that nature, I tell him, how I noticed the differences in property taxes and things of that nature from California versus Texas, things of that nature, right? So we're chatting along, and he's like, yeah, so, I'm really looking to downgrade from my 2-story to get a flat, because I was telling him my home that I'm in now is a 1-story. And he was like, yeah, we're looking to do that too. And he was like, we're in a 2-story right now, but I'm building a brand new house in Coronado. Basically it's a wealthier area of San Diego, by the way. But he casually mentioned that he was, building a 1-story house, downgrading from his 2-story. Casually mentioned it, okay? So the epiphany didn't hit me until later last night, when I was at the dinner that we were having for my work. I'm at a work event right now. So anyway, long story short, he ends up telling me, these things casually. Now, anybody who knows San Diego, certain areas of San Diego, you're not going to be able to build a house from the ground up for very cheap. It's going to be a couple $1 million at least, or a little bit more if you want a nice house, right? And so it was interesting how he just casually just was like, yeah, I'm downgrading. And he considered a downgrade to get a 1-story. Very interesting. And, he was like, yeah, my older years, I don't want to have to go up and down stairs anymore. Just very casually mentioning things, right? So as I'm at my location where I'm at and at my work thing, and kind of like just, having conversation with my coworkers and things of that nature, mingling and stuff like that, right? So the epiphany hit me. I was like, wait a minute. I was sitting next to a millionaire on a Southwest flight. One of the things that also hit me just now, this is why I'm posting this message. I know it's a little bit long. Well, not as long as some of my other ones, but it's getting there. I wanted to tell you this, right? Because some of you, not everybody, but some of us, are one day going to be millionaires, and you're going to be the type of millionaire that doesn't flaunt it, right? Not everybody's going to know just by sitting next to you or talking to you, unless they catch certain clues that you mention that you're a millionaire. You're going to be a very understated, how do I say it? You're going to be someone who basically has $1 million or more, multi-millionaire, and you're not going to flaunt it in a way where it's everybody knows. Hopefully I'm making sense. It was the way he was just very, just nonchalant, just very matter of fact about the fact that he was building the home, and it wasn't like he was bragging or anything. He was just talking. And that's how some of us, or some of you, I include myself in this, some of us are going to be when when you finally get to that place and you get to those millions, you may not be as out there with it, but you're going to have it. And I wanted to encourage some of you, because I know some of you already walk in or have a millionaire mindset. You may not have it tangibly yet. And you may notice that you having the millionaire anointing, I like to call it. People will look at you and assume that you have certain things just by your aura, so to speak. And they will assume that you got it like that. Yeah. You may not tangibly have it, but you already carry that anointing. Some of you have a billionaire anointing. Okay. Just gonna make it plain. All right. So, just wanted to encourage you real quick. Don't be surprised who you encounter, that may actually be a millionaire, but they're not going to flaunt it in your face. I don't think that was an accident, me sitting next to someone who was actually a millionaire. Oh, here's the other piece of the puzzle. So as we're getting off the plane, he happened to look down at his phone and he had his stocks up on his phone. And, because I have, certain stock apps and stuff like that. So I know what they look like. And I looked over and I saw that he was just kind of casually looking at his stocks. And I was just like, okay. So then last night when I started putting two and two together, I was like, homeboy is a millionaire. And was just nonchalant, just casually talking about things he was doing and where he had been with his family in the last couple weeks, just traveling and just kind of hanging out and doing what they want to do. So I think that was just a foreshadow of what is to come for some of us, including myself, in that you're just going to be casually just living your life, traveling, doing whatever it is the heck you want to do. And you'll be a multimillionaire. Yeah. So wanted to come on and encourage you real quick, because I know some of you carry that anointing, and it right now you don't see it tangibly, but I just wanted to encourage you that it's coming. Okay. And you may have little encounters like that to give you a little inkling that it's coming, or give you a little bit of encouragement that, hey, this could also be you. All right. I think I'm done. And this was longer than I expected, but hey, I had to tell y'all. All right, I love y'all. Y'all know I love you. Now, you go out and make it a great day on purpose, and don't you go mess up nobody else's day. But don't be surprised by who you may encounter, who may actually be a multimillionaire. They just don't flaunt it like that. And it could be a preface to what's to come for you. Okay? All right. I love y'all. Now go make it a great day on purpose. Don't you go mess up nobody else's day, okay? All right. Love y'all. Bye.